Hello. Hello, everybody. Can you maybe let me know that you're in the chat? Uh, Hello, hi all. Can somebody can everybody let themselves know in the chat? So I would like to start off with everybody introducing themselves and first of all, let me know you can hear me. And that's the upper left button. Hello? Ah, now I see the questions. Good morning. Good morning, Lucas. So I will get back to the detailed questions in a bit. And I was hoping for everybody to also okay, I see. Sorry, I have to get used to this this Google Hangout stuff. I see. Okay, yeah. Hello, Jarus is there. It's I'm in the questions section right now, and I would like to invite everybody to join through video. Yes, hello Andrew, hello Lucas, hello Faizan. And I would like to... So I'm gonna send a link to the group, and I think if you use that link, you can also join the video. 1 second. So everybody. So this link is what you really need. 1 second. Because I would love to have people also in the call. And I want to see if that works. So 1 second. Because now everybody's just watching. So I sent a link through Google+. So I sent a message to all people that signed up to this. And I hope there's some way I can add it as well. Okay, I see already nine viewers. So if you want to join if you want to join the show, then please use the link I've sent to the group that for people that RSVP to this show. And I also do a comment on the show. Please use this link. Yeah. Okay, so let me kick off for now, and then I'll see people. I see already Jerus on there. Hey, hello, Faizan.
Yeah.
Jerus.
Hello,
Hello, who's this?
I'm Faizan.
Hi, Faizan. Hi. Hey, good you're here. I thought Google Hangout was working in a different way, but everybody that still wants to watch, just watch. If you want to contribute, just contribute. Please put your presentation or your camera and your audio on mute, and then I'll start off with the presentation. And I think now everybody can see me.
Yeah.
So welcome. I'm first gonna tell you a little story about the community management. I've drafted some things together. I think it's just a 10-minute presentation, and then I would like to go through the questions and see how this works. See if you have anything to add or if you have any questions. So let me share my screen now. Where was that? Screen share. So yeah, first of all, welcome for joining the call. I didn't want to go into like the detailed story about how we built a network in Amsterdam. Just a little recap. If you want to know more about it, you can find it find the whole story online. But I want to go into more the best practices. How we built a network in Amsterdam in 6 weeks. How we crafted the story and how it like spread like wildfire across the world. And I want to tell a bit about community management. And if you like dissect it to a few topics, I'm gonna would like to tell a bit about mission, team, prototypes, campaigning, communication, events, and use cases. I think these are the main topics I would like to address when talking about community management and the Things Network. So first of all, when we started in Amsterdam, and we gathered a group of people that wanted to actually build a network, but not only build a network in the sense that the people were placing gateways, or that we were we were also needed to build the whole concept. So I went to the local IoT meetup together with my co-founder Johan Stocking, the tech lead, and I drafted a real clean mission. It was our mission is to build decentralized, open, and crowdsourced IoT data network owned and operated by its users. And the plan was to do that in Amsterdam and make everything open source so it could be easily copied around the world. And what was really good about that and about what followed, because we created a small community a few days later, is that we had one thing that was really in common that we all liked. So we also wrote a manifest, which you can find on our GitHub, and we were aligned from the start because we had this joint mission statement. And I believe for if you start a community like this, and you want to gather like a group of people and aligning them, which I think is the most important thing, is that it's good that you have like a clear understanding of what you're doing and what you're after. So for us, when we used this mission statement, we created a manifest in which we stated that we want to build a network that has no single point of control and no single point of failure, which was a very interesting technical challenges as well, which really made a good group of people. And I think if you look at your local community, you should have a look at something similar or maybe even more specific on why you want to do this. And I think that's always a good start. And what leads from that is a team that is aligned and that's heading in the same direction. So what we did in Amsterdam, we had different capabilities in the team. If you look at the photo on the right, there's a few people. There's some scientists. There's a student. There's a startup founder. There's even a guy from the police, and that is that was in the summer, and I think a lot of people had a little bit more time, and that really worked out. And if you look at what's important in the team, I think there's a few capabilities or competences. First of all, communication, because you're gonna like this first team is gonna be the start of the community, so you have to like clearly communicate like to your stakeholders what do you want to do, and second of all is technology. You not only want to tell them what to do, but you also want to show them. So you want to build prototypes. You want to showcase like initial results. Campaigning. So in Amsterdam, it was not only community building from the tech side or from like let's make this work. We also needed to find a lot of people that want to invest in that time €1,000 in curling gateways. And that's there like more the sales and marketing competence come into play. So it's good that in your network or in your team you have people that already have, like, for instance, a business network, already have like a community network where you can tap into and start campaigning from. Then implementation. So we had a few people that worked really hard on making the technology work. So and then we also had a few people that helped the community, so the businesses and the people from the city that bought these gateways to support them in installing them. In our case in Amsterdam, it was way harder because we still used the curling gateways. When you went for our Kickstarter gateway, it's all plug and play, so that will not be that hard. But you probably want somebody for people to reach out to. Okay, hey, I want to contribute to the network. How does it work? How can I install it and help them a bit out? And a bit of business sense in the team is good as well. You might want to find some additional sponsors. You might want to have a look if you want to build some kind of business on top of this network, for instance, building use cases or providing support or whatever, and I believe that that's something as well. Something yeah. So what we always advise when you get in touch with, for instance, Tom, say, okay, like start with a team first and make that solid and build then the community from that. And the broader you make the team, the better it works. Then prototype. So in Amsterdam, we made this little use case where we had this water detector in boats, which would notify you if your boat is filling up with water. This was a really local use case that helped in the communication as well in making it technically work. And that's I think that's like in the end it's all about use cases. So I would really advise, if you start a community, like at least think of a use case, a local use case, which you can explain to people that find it hard to understand the technology push and where you need to build a network first, and then it gets interesting. So we worked hard for the launch in Amsterdam on a local use case. And it also forces you to build something end to end, which is really good because it will raise a lot of questions which are local as well. So, for instance, it will force you to have a look at local legislation. We see that in communities around India now because it's still a bit unclear how to use this bandwidth. And also it's really good for involving the local community and local citizens as well. So that's good. Then the campaigning. So if you look at the people that what I see around the world that are attracted to this concept and want to be close to it, want to join, that are the do-it-yourselfers, so the maker community. These are the innovations hubs and the startup hubs and people that want to always have the new stuff. Businesses in IoT, but also just IT businesses are very interested in Internet of Things, and governments as well, because I think the theme of smart city is on the agenda in every city worldwide. So what you see here is that when we did this in Amsterdam, I first started with my network of startup hubs in Amsterdam, and they all they didn't even need to think about this. So, they heard the story about this open network and free, and they a lot of their customers are developers, so they really love to join as well. So these were people that were very easily to convince that they should they were really easy to convince that they should place one of these gateways. But as well as businesses, I think what we saw is businesses wanted to contribute in two ways, because they love the story and they wanted their brand attached to it, and I think that mainly was when we talked to for instance Deloitte or KPMG or whatever, and we also we're talking to businesses that were small IT companies and businesses that were really they saw the benefit of building an application on top of this. So, for instance, one of our backers in Amsterdam, one of the community members that bought a gateway, was a company that did some track and trace. So they saw the capability of track and trace and GPS for LoRaWAN, and that was one business, but also a business that is a peer lending platform. And that's a service where you can lend stuff to your neighbors and from your neighbors, and they would love to have some additional tracking device on that as well. So yeah, with regards to campaigning, I would advise you to go to innovation hubs, businesses, makers, and also so the government. One example in the Netherlands is that For governance, is that a complete province, so the province of Groningen, and got in the north just bought gateways for the entire province. So that's interesting. If you look at communication, so if you drafted your local mission and you created your local story with a small group of people, build the initial, have the idea for the initial use case, then it's very very important to spread the word. If you not have already, please let us know. So you make sure you have your local thethings.org community page. These are thethings.org/c/Sao Paulo, Buenos Aires. We have all these kind of local stuff and local sites, and put your story on there. What we find in Amsterdam also very interesting is that one of the community members was the Next Web, and they were there from the start. So I would really advise to see if there's any local media that's interested in the idea, and also find them as a media partner and one of the And in Amsterdam there was where the Next Web also contributed to the network, which was really cool, and they were there from the start, so they were also very likely to write about this story, which is very interesting. What we find somehow in IoT, Twitter is really a channel where IoT community is active. There was something new for me. I know like Twitter as a channel, and I know there's not a lot of people on Twitter, but people that want to spread their story there are on Twitter. So, but also we found a lot of we found a lot of followers and a lot of community members through Twitter. So I would really advise you to use that as well. Facebook doesn't really work for us, and but I think that Twitter is awesome for this type of stuff. And also find local communities already there. I already talked about like innovation hubs or startup hubs, just to see if they can join your local meetups, because they already have their communication channels. So it's very effective to hook up with them and see if you can do some joint promotion on what you're doing. Then events. Of course, nowadays like a lot of things happen digital, but somehow events are still very, very magical. And maybe because of the reason that we do so much things virtual, meeting face to face becomes even more special. So what we did is that with the local community, so with the community team, we met up every week. And did some work together. That was every Friday, starting from 1 o'clock. We were doing that. Now we are organizing every Friday in Amsterdam a hackerspace, starting from 1. At the moment, not really active efforts. We're still looking for an organizer, but this is that's something we're gonna put really some life into. When we launched the network, we really made it a milestone. So we really made it an announcement, and somehow people love announcements. So this is also a communication tip. But if you look at this picture, this is the picture when we launched the Things Network in Amsterdam, and there were over 2 people on the day, and during the day we had talks about IoT and some interesting speakers, and then second half of the day we had a LoRaWAN hackathon, and this was a really huge success, and that was really awesome to do and to join, to make sure all these people joined. And I can really advise you to make this a big milestone. So for instance, set for yourself a goal that you want to reach and say, okay, I want to cover this area, and then when you're about to do that, plan the event, invite all the local stakeholders, and launch the network. So that was one like a launch event, and with a hackathon. And what we also did in that is that we started talking at local developer communities, like meetups, but also conferences. So I bet, like in your area, there's a lot of maybe not so much IoT related communities, but still some developer communities which are very interesting. Then use cases, as already said, create local use cases, prove it works, spreads the story, something very, very important. And last but not least, have fun. And we did in Amsterdam, and I see this working around the world, and I think that's one of the most important things. And then build a community from that. And just to summarize, start with a joint goal, a mission, build a team with different competences, not only communication, not only technology. Try to gather the team, make it maybe even a small team, and build like the community from that. And make sure you have some good ideas for good prototypes and use cases. Start campaigning within the maker community, within innovation hubs. See if there are businesses that want to cooperate, and also see if there's our governments that want to do chip in as well. Make sure you get your communication straight, and make sure that you reach out to your community, and have events, and have fun. So that's a bit of the thing I prepared, and I would love to talk to you and see if there's any questions. Let me get back to this picture. So there's still to this picture. So we can see your video. That's good. So I'm going to start out with the first question by Lucas. Will the range of the gateway be affected by tall building? What's the best way to position a gateway? So what we now say is the best way to position the building, the gateway, is to put it in the highest point. So this is a great question. Maybe Lucas or Rish. Rish is one of our community members as well. He's in the call as well. Can also put this question on the forum. So this is something more people want to ask, and put the answer in there as well. So will the question is, will the range of the gateway be affected by tall buildings? What is the best place to position a gateway? So the highest point is the best, and it depends on. It's best to put it on your roof. Make sure that if you put it on your roof, you have outdoor gateway, so you really don't want to have something on the highest point on your roof when it's not like lightning proof, because then you will make sure that the whole block will lose power when it strikes there. So at the moment, it's really the highest point, and yes, it will be affected by tall buildings, as any radio frequency technology does. But that's what we need to test together, and we're really curious if you're setting up your prototypes and your initial network, what happens there, Lucas. So so thanks for that question. Another question by Lucas. May the QA mode allow only one-way video questions are asked into the chat. So if you, yes, so Lucas, if you want to join to the video, the link is in the the link is if you want to, if anybody wants to join through video, the link is in the comment of the event page for this Google Hangout. I'm here. Okay, so this is a question from Faizan. Faizan, maybe you can put on your video and ask the question again. Hey, hello.
Hey, hello, Gizman.
Hey, so what's your question and where you're from?
I'm from Makkah, Saudi Arabia, and we are developing a community network of LoRaWAN here.
Okay.
I wanted to ask that question that your echo is coming back. That is my really problem.
Okay.
Okay. Let me ask again. There is a lots of problem of time on the air in LoRaWAN. This is the basic, this is the basic lag in LoRaWAN. On this point, I want to ask that how many devices that can be used with the one gateway?
So what we now say is that it's around 10,000 devices.
10,000.
10,000, and of course it depends on the context. So just to have like a small question, so small, like an easy answer, is that the devices are limited in their airtime. So like a device cannot constantly stream, right? So and they are limited to a certain amount of airtime. So we're gonna put on some rules. So there needs to be governance on the devices on the Things network to make sure they're, first of all, LoRaWAN compliant, and second of all, that we can support as much as devices as possible. So I would like to ask you to add this question, because it's a really simple question, but I think there's a more complicated answer to this. So please ask this question on the forum, and do you have access to this?
Yes, yes.
You know the forum. So let's see if maybe or somebody already.
There's a discussion going on in the forum as well on time on there, because if if you are using real-time applications, LoRaWAN is not an ideal choice.
No. It's so what I always say is that if you want to do something real time, you can do that if you have, for instance, some business logic in your sensor. So if you want to like know the point that the temperature goes higher than 25 degrees, then you can like do a ping. But if you want to stream real time, there's currently not a low battery, long range technology around that really works. So so that's something interesting, and this is also LoRaWAN. It's interesting what it can do, but it's even more interesting what it cannot do, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah. It opens up lots of a research gate as well.
Yeah. So it's really when we talk to people about use cases, sometimes they think it can do way more. That's very interesting. So, what kind of use cases do you have in mind?
Basically, we are using GPS tracking, real-time GPS tracking for, we are in Makkah. Did you heard about Hajj? No, people gather around the world, Muslim perform his religious.
Oh, okay, yeah. And
so what do you do? We have a person tracking use case. We can track a person tracking. We can do a person tracking. The problem is that we have 3 million people in a 5 kilometer or 10 kilometer area.
Yeah.
So if we put a tracker on every person, then it will be very difficult for any gateway to cater all the data.
Yeah,
and if we put let's suppose 3 gateway or 4 gateway, then we need to know the at least estimated amount of end node devices.
Yeah.
Which.
Yeah, the good thing is that they're really like close to each other, so that's the good thing. This is a very interesting experiment. So
yeah,
like if you can put this use case on the forum, I think it's very interesting to talk with the community about this.
Yeah.
Because I think this is. Yeah, sorry.
Yes. This is the stress testing for the LoRaWAN as well.
Yeah. So I would love to have this case. I mean, this is going to be something very, very interesting. Because it looks like it's like also like if you put this question on there, I will ask for instance Thomas Telkamp. He's one of the most smartest community members. I don't know if you already talked to him. So okay, Faizan, please put this use case on the forum and let's discuss further there.
Okay, thank you so much.
And any more questions?
No.
Okay. Okay, great, thanks. Okay, the next one is so if you have any questions, please also join the call. I see Andrew is joining, and I will go through the questions on the chat first. Okay, I'm back. Okay, hi Winke, I'm Boon from Malaysia. Hey Boon, how's life? Any plan of getting local distributors for non-US and non-US countries so it is easier for local communities to get the gateways? Okay, Boon, are you in the call? Because I would love to hear more about that. I don't know if Boon is still here. I think it's a very interesting question. Any plans for getting local distributors for non-US and non-EU countries? I would love to know more about that, that issue. So if this, like we use Kickstarter for now, and we're gonna do some global distribution. We're thinking about yes, give me a second. Boon will join. That's good. Okay, so before Boon joins, Andrew, I see you joined. Hi, do you have any questions? So you have to unmute your audio. 1 second. Your microphone is not on, Andrew. Yes. Okay, now. No, I cannot hear you. Yeah, can you speak now? Okay, let's switch to Boon first. Can you hear me, Boon?
Yeah, I do.
Hello. So you're good to meet you.
Yeah, finally.
So tell me, what's your question?
Yeah. The reason that I'm asking this question is because I have several people interested to buy the gateway, but they have concern about the local certification for us. Because it seems to me that you guys are doing the FCC and the EU stuff, I mean the certification. But then for us to use it in Malaysia, then we probably need local certification. So this is the reason why I'm asking if you guys have any plans.
Yeah, so we currently are looking in FCC and EU certification, and the most hardest is FCC. And as far as I know, it's like a lot of countries, like if it's FCC approved, it's okay. But we love to learn more. So at the moment, we can ship our hardware across the world, and you can use it anywhere. That's what we research. But if you have more local knowledge and about this, then we would love to hear that. So, what kind of what kind of certification do you need in Malaysia? Do you have some examples of that, or?
We actually follow EU standard, which is good. But although we follow EU standard, but we still need to have our local certification, which is called CIRIM.
Okay.
So whenever we import any, electronics goods, we need to go through the CIRIM certifications. Yeah. So this is what I'm thinking. If we could get a local distributor, then they might be able to sort this out for us. And the local community will be easier to get a gateway instead of worrying. I pay for 200 euros and then I get the gateway, and then one day the authority will come and say, no, don't use that because you are not certified.
Yeah. So I would love to see if we. I'll create a topic for this right away. So local radio frequency certification. I would love to maybe you can. I will make the topic and I will send it to you.
Thanks.
And I would love to start make a list on the forum of any other local certifications except from the EU ones and the FCC, and see where that happens. And maybe Faizen, are you there? Did you have a look into any certifications for Saudi Arabia, for Mecca? Or anybody else that says, okay, I want to, for instance, Jarus?
Hey, Gisman.
Hey.
We will look for the certification as well, but currently we are in the development phase and research phase. Then when we develop when we're done with the development, then we will go for the certification as well.
Okay, but because you need certification.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that, did you already have a look at that? Is that going to be hard, or is that?
I think because LoRaWAN is not as much developed in Saudi Arabia, so I think it is not very difficult to get a certification.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For me, when we're talking, for instance, to micro to Multitech, they're also providing LoRaWAN gateways. We see they ship around the world, so and they don't seem to have a lot of issues with that.
Basically, currently we have 3 curling gateways and around 10 IMST gateways. So we have a lot of amount of gateways and nodes as well. We are also developing some nodes for the GPS tracking.
Yeah.
And
cool.
For the nodes, we need certification from LoRaWAN, which is, I think, IMST providing.
Yeah. Cool. That's really nice. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, Boone. It's something that would be very interesting if we can have to look at this. I see one answer as well. Yes, we should require ICASA certification in South Africa. That's by Piet de Jong. Okay, interesting. Radio frequency. I created a topic on the forum, so we can. So if you go to the forum, it's one of the first right now. Radio frequency certifications. And this is very interesting. Okay, so okay, Boone, thanks for this question. Let me see if I can get the screen. Okay, Andrew. So welcome. Is your microphone still already working? I think your microphone is broken. Do you see like these when you talk? Do you see these green dots on the bottom right of your? No? Do you have a question that you want to put in the question section? Okay. Hi, Ulti. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. Do you have a question?
Yes. When do you going to sell your gateway? Because I have no information how to get it.
How to get it? Yeah. So we are shipping in July, and we will launch a web shop very soon. So we will. The Kickstarter ended, and we will launch we will launch a web shop where people can order for the second batch very soon. So.
Okay. Do you publish some technical information about this gateway? So how we could use it? It's same to Raspberry Pi, or it's you can use any Linux or some kind of this kind of thing.
So we will launch. We will publish all the hardware designs, and all the code will be open source as long as it's not under NDA or that it's copyrighted. So once we ship the first batch, we will publish all this open, all the designs open, and you can even build your own gateway based on that. So yeah, but that will be done when we finish the gateway.
Great, thanks. And we have already started to prepare the internet thing in Mongolia.
Okay, cool.
Already two pieces of IC8080A, the gateway PCB from Germany.
Nice.
And we're going to work out in January while we're waiting your cheaper gateway.
Awesome. Yeah. That's what we see a lot of communities do. So get started with hardware that's already on the market, and then when we can ship the cheaper gateways, then we'll do that. So can you tell me a bit about where you're from and what does your community do?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Yes.
I'm from Mongolia, and my city is Ulaanbaatar.
Okay.
Ulaanbaatar is a city of Mongolia.
Okay, cool.
So we like to deploy your network here in our city.
Cool, very nice. So do you already have like a community network, a community website? So the thingsnetwork.org/yourcity.
Not really. We don't know how to get it started with this community website. We could use your website.
That would be cool. So send me a mail about that. So Wienke, it's on thingsnetwork.org on the bottom. My email is there, and if you send me an email, I will hook you up with Tom, and then he will let you know how to do this. And then we can put your gateways on top there as well. So that would be very cool. Cool.
Okay, I will send email today. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. So thanks for joining. So if anybody has any more questions, oh yeah, you have Andrew has a microphone now. No, sorry. I don't know what it is. Strange, because everybody, I think it has something to do with your computer, but so can you ask the question in the chat? All right, yes, that works. Sorry. So Andrew is typing his question. I was wondering how you will fund the growth of Things network when thousands of nodes are connected. Currently, like it's we set it up completely decentralized. So when somebody adds a gateway, you add capacity all the time. So node 1 is made in a way that, for instance, that if you cover, for instance, here in the city, in Amsterdam, we add a few of these gateways, and they have a range of around 5 to 10 kilometers. If we add a gateway, what we'll do is we'll have some dynamic network management that will decrease the range of these gateways, which will effectively increase the bandwidth of the network. So, so that's how community grows. Then we need the network components to run on servers. So we, at the moment, we're also trying to do that in a community way. So we will create these really easy to launch network instances in containers, and you can launch them on Amazon or any cloud service. So that's one way. Then I believe that the community should be made out of citizens, government, and businesses. And you will see then when people are building more critical services on top of this, they will also be more likely to run the networks and network services. So, for instance, yesterday I was at a company, and they really love to contribute to this network because I also wanted to use it, and then they were really willing to say, okay, but we don't mind to run these network services if some of the routing is covered by us, because if we can benefit from the entire network, we are not willing to build to this as well. So that network effect is coming to play also when you get more bigger stakeholders on this. And what we need to govern is that they're not these dominant players. So we need to have it decentralized and diverse and distributed. But I believe that it's inherent in the model that if it grows, it becomes stronger. And Wikipedia is the same, right? When it grows, it becomes stronger. And the critical mass for building the network is not that big. And I believe that if we continue like this, and the next step, the really important step, is to build use cases and to make people build use cases on the network, that the network also has a real reason to exist, not just for prototyping and development. Then you will see that companies will launch these routing instances as well, and they don't mind that some of the traffic of other people are also handled by their servers, because they know that when their application is maybe in an area where they did not build the Things network themselves, they know they can leverage as well. So that's the big hypothesis at the moment, and I would love to see how we can stretch this community way of building the network as far as possible, and then we'll see what's the next step. And maybe that means that we have to get some external funds in the foundation or build a business ecosystem to support this. That's it. If you look at, for instance, a lot of, I think almost all community-driven concepts, or if you look at open source, if you look at, for instance, your local soccer or football club, they're all all carried by both the members, the government and a business ecosystem. And I know, like, if you look at the Netherlands, you have a soccer club. There's always members. There's always the government is typically paying for the area or providing the area for really low rent, and then you have businesses that sponsor the church and whatever. So I believe this is the same dynamic we could do with this on a global scale, is that we have a community of citizens, government, and businesses. And that's how it's. But it's inherently decentralized, the architecture. That's why it should also be possible to be built up like that and become stronger as it grows. Does it somehow answer your question? Cool, nice. So it's 8 o'clock. So if I'm looking at the Q&A, somebody else? No, and in the chat. Okay, if there's no any further questions, yeah, then I'll call it a wrap, and then yeah. So and please go to the forum, or if you have any questions, contact me directly. And yeah, keep up the good work, and I hope to see networks around the world. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.